Hi, Sahana. I'm going to give you some feedback on your project. I've gone through this carefully and seen how you've progressed through this in terms of your prompt activity and the development of the newsletter, but also the process. What I've been impressed with is the level of detail and documentation. You have well, obviously you've had, I think, a really nice plan here. And then you developed the plan, you have been systematic each week in working on your plan, which is clearly documented. And you've done some really nice reflections in terms of the process. And so as I look through it, um, I see you using different tools deliberately, thoughtfully to produce something that is useful for you. And in the end, you're giving yourself an A minus. I would actually give you an A, so I would bump that up. And the reason I would do that is because you have carefully documented the process. You've offered detailed reflections. I think the final output is actually quite good. I see the changes in the output. I see your journey in terms of what you're learning, and what I don't see here is you. Uh, Now maybe you meant A for a project. A fairly reflects the quality. I think you've documented your learning in there. What I would encourage in a self-reflection is something a little bit more systematic. So you're sort of saying, what's the total time I've spent on this? And I can add it all up. But it's easier for me to summarize. I'd like to see a description of the tools used and how they were used and whether they were effective. I'd like to see the learning goals from the course and how they were achieved. And perhaps a reflection on what you might do differently. However, I think this is a good reflection, and it's not just this, it's how you've documented up to the point. If you just put your project and done this kind of evaluation, I wouldn't have been able to note what you've done. But honestly, I think this is really quite good. I truly hope you've learned from it and developed. That's my goal, and that it was valuable for you, that it served your purpose. That would be the two key goals for me. So very well done.